Ready?
Sure, let's do this.
Got my tongs. What are we making? Somebody's asking what we're making.
Oh,
Oh.
I should get into it.
Hi guys.
We're gonna be making carbonara.
Welcome back to another Cooking Live after 5. We are making carbonara.
That's right. I'm the chef.
I'm the sous chef. It seems really dark in here. It's the first time we've had to turn on our lights for Instagram Live because it's the last Thursday of the summer.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
like fall,
Saturday
getting dark.
is fall.
It's a little chilly here in Toronto.
It is a little chilly.
So tonight's actually the perfect day to be making carbonara, I would say.
And if you guys haven't been following along on the blog for the month of September, we've been posting literary food. So it's foods inspired by books. And we've done a few fun ones. We've done Crazy Rich Asian Food. Harry Potter went up today, so go check that one out.
That's right.
We've also done Green Eggs and Ham.
Lord of the Flies.
But today's carbonara is inspired by Eat, Pray, Love. Am I just talking?
Yeah, it's okay. Keep going with it.
So basically that moment where, I mean, if you've watched the movie or read the book, where Julia Roberts is basically having a moment with her pizza, it was basically me in Italy having moments with carbonara because it was the only thing I ate while in Rome. If it was on the menu, I ordered it. My mom and I were there for 3 weeks in May for our birthdays, and even on our last day in Rome, we had to go back for carbonara.
And
final dish.
She bragged about it so much that I had to learn to make it, so that's what we're making today. So let's just get into it right off the bat. We have some water boiling behind us. That's the one thing you sort of need to do ahead of time. But I can tell you guys, I'm going to give you some great tips on proper ingredients to use, some tips on how to get perfect bacon or pancetta or crispy skin, whatever you're going for. And the best part about this recipe, it can be made from start to finish in less than 30 minutes. This is probably going to be one of our quickest lives.
And it's only 5 ingredients.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have
Some
touch anything.
eggs.
And eggs, that's what's gonna make it super creamy. No cream, no chicken stock. Julia, if you're watching, no chicken stock.
We have some pecorino romano. A lot of people think you would use Parmigiano Reggiano, but for this recipe, you want the pecorino romano. The one thing that we're using that may be
Hi, Jen.
not traditional, but it's optional, is garlic.
Just gonna give you a lot more flavor in there.
We have some guanciale, which I'll explain to you a little bit later. And of course some spaghetti, which now you get to see me if I was blonde.
You look like Betty Cooper.
Oh my god, I don't even know who that is.
You know who Betty Cooper is?
No, who's she? Can you tell me?
It's from Riverdale.
Oh, okay. I don't watch.
It's Archie.
I don't watch Riverdale.
Yes.
Sorry,
Did you
peeps.
read Archie growing up?
I did not. Okay, so believe it or not, the first thing we're gonna do is cook some pasta. That's how little time this takes. So I'm gonna throw this in the water. We have it boiling. In that goes.
The light's so weird. It's so weird being in actual light. Can you guys even see us?
They can see us.
We'll have
just
to get
fine.
our light.
So that pasta's going. It's going to be about 5 minutes. Or sorry, it's going to be about 7 or 8 minutes for it to be cooked to al dente. Which al dente for you non-pasta cooker types is basically means that it is tender, but it has a little bite to it with the teeth. That's what you want. You don't want your pasta to be mushy at all. I'm just cutting up. I have 100 grams of the guanciale here. If you go to the blog and see our recipe, we actually use pancetta for it. The reason we do that in the recipe is because it's a little bit more accessible. Guanciale, you're not going to find everywhere. So, I mean, it's the traditional way. No, we'll wait until we put it in first.
Tips.
So, tip, whenever you're cooking bacon, whenever you're cooking pancetta, anything that's like really fatty and you want a crispy skin with it, start with the cold pan. If you do that, it's going to allow the fat to render out and it'll allow the outside to become crispy without seizing the meat. If the pan is super hot ahead of time, then what's going to happen is the meat's going to seize up right away and it's going to get tough.
So we have that on medium, and we're just gonna let that cook down.
And don't worry, Sharon, we're definitely drinking wine while we're making this pasta.
Speaking of the rendering, if you guys want super crispy chicken, we have a chicken puttanesca recipe on the blog. Phil also renders the chicken there, and it's just, you're getting super crispy skin, and you're not even frying it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you wouldn't think of,
It's just
but
like
it
the
works
craziest tip
really.
in the world, and it works so well.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out. Can I do this, or do you want?
No, it's fine. You can do that. Now, I'm gonna grab some
Should I
garlic.
even touch this, or just let it
No,
sit?
you can just let it go.
Perfect.
So the heat's at medium heat right now. You don't want to go high with it.
Little guy.
Just do the medium.
Guys,
And-
I don't have much to do in this recipe. This is literally Phil's recipe.
No, you get to stir and drink some wine and all of that stuff, so it's good. Garlic. We're gonna smash it. Do it with the palm of your hand. Be careful not to cut yourself.
Don't cut yourself.
Gonna throw it skin, except for that loose guy, skin and all, just throw that into the pan. As the fat comes out, it's gonna get that garlic flavor in there. It's just gonna give it a very, very mild flavor. You don't wanna overpower it, just like a little bit of aroma with the garlic. Just gonna check on the pasta here,
Yeah.
give it a mix.
Guys, have you watched Eat, Pray, Love, or have you read the book? Let us know. Give us some hearts. Or have you been to Italy? Or is carbonara one of your favorite dishes? Because it's now officially climbed the charts as one of my favorite pasta dishes ever.
Yeah, I hate to say it. When Mystique came back from Italy, all she talked about, Phil, this carbonara, oh my god, you have to try it, it's so amazing. I've never had carbonara before. I went to Italy, but spent most of my time in Florence, where in Florence it's more about like the beans and that sort of deal. So I never had carbonara there. So when she came back, I knew I had to learn to make it, so I just went on the internet, I researched as much as I could, looking through comments, criticisms, all of that. I found what I believe to be probably the most authentic was actually Jamie Oliver has an amazing video on YouTube, and that's where I learned about making carbonara, about using the guanciale, about using pecorino romano. So yeah, it just gives it a really authentic taste. I have tried variations of it. Last week I tried making it with Parmigiano Reggiano. I can tell you for a fact it's not as good.
No.
The saltiness out of a pecorino romano, which is a sheep's cheese, is...
Sheep cheese, not a cheap cheese.
Yeah. That was cheesy.
You said cheap cheese.
That's right, I did. But the saltiness in it is perfect. You actually don't need to use salt with this recipe aside from the water and the pasta, because you're getting the salt from the cheese, you're getting the salt from the guanciale.
And guys,
Now-
I'm not even kidding. I would say, just because the atmosphere is different, I would say this is an 8 out of 10 compared to what I had in Italy. Obviously, I mean, it's
pretty damn
delicious.
good.
It's the best I think I've ever had. Well, it is the best I've ever had in Canada.
It's the only you've ever had in Canada.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's not true, because you go to a restaurant and they'll put like cream in it,
Yeah, something
chicken
with
stock,
cream,
you were telling
apparently,
me.
Chicken stock.
No.
You get the creaminess from the egg and a little bit of the cheese in there.
Eggs, cheese,
And it doesn't even have that
pasta
much
water.
cheese.
So I don't know if you guys, you probably can't see this, but just a little bit of the fat's coming out of here. You need that fat in there. It's going to help emulsify the sauce and just help it taste delicious. Now, this dish tastes rich, but it's not like, it's not bad for you.
It's
Like
not
it's
even bad
all
for you.
real ingredients. It's
Bacon, cheese, and a lot of egg.
exactly.
And trust me guys, you're gonna get the creamiest carbonara ever. It's like, you can't even imagine how there's no cream in this.
No, it's true. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention. So, in our recipe, we used the pancetta as we spoke about earlier. Pancetta you can get anywhere. It's great to use. I
Can I
find
take
the
this out?
fat. Sure, you can take
That's
it
the
out.
skin guys, it just fell off.
The fat content isn't quite as high as guanciale, so sometimes if it's not super fatty, you might have to add like a little bit of olive oil to it. Guanciale. Oh, and the other thing with pancetta is sometimes it has a tough skin, so you're gonna want to cut that off before cooking it, because you want this to be like nice and tender, and these bites to be like just little salty, tender bites in there.
So delicious.
Hi, Anya and Naomi. Hi.
Hi Anya, hi Naomi.
my adorable nieces, Anya and Naomi, back in Aurora, watching us live. Hi, girls.
They actually find it so funny that we're live and they don't understand how we're talking to them in real time. Hi, girls. Hope you had a good day at school.
Sharon, if you don't have chicken, if you don't have pork,
You know
definitely
what?
don't use chicken or turkey bacon. Don't use
But
either.
somebody actually messaged us today because they made, they used zucchini and made a pancetta out of it. So it's a vegan option. I can definitely share that with you if the recipe does turn out for her. But it looks good from what we saw. You can definitely use something like that. You're obviously not going to get the bacony.
You don't, well, and the problem with it is you don't get the fat, which
You don't
is
get the fat.
the fat's what you need. So it would be challenging to do that.
But,
What you would do in
look
that
it up.
case?
Tell us if other people have made it.
I'll test it for you, Sharon. Next time I come over, I'll test it. But basically, it'll be cheese and egg and pasta water, and that's how you'll get the sauce. So this is actually like pretty close to
see
done.
that?
This is gonna end up being our quickest live ever.
Totally. We're 11 minutes in, guys.
We're like 10 minutes in, and we're almost done.
Guys, for those of you tuning in, we are making carbonara inspired by, whoa, why is it so dark in here? Weird. Inspired by Eat, Pray, Love. I feel like the light changes when you read.
Yeah, it probably
Super
does.
dark. Like it looks super dark.
The pasta's almost done. So we're getting close. You know what? I need to do the eggs. So we're gonna make the sauce now.
Should I turn this down?
No, I think it's fine. So for the sauce, 2 eggs. Get them up to room temperature if you can remember. If it's coming right from the fridge, it's not the end of the world. But
Do you need a spoon?
if you can leave them out, just to get up to room temperature, just make sure they're not gonna curdle ahead of time. I'm gonna mix those up. You're gonna grate some pecorino romano in there. And probably like 20-30 grams in there, and then we'll have some additional for when we're
I'll show you
when we're
guys.
styling it.
Because I don't even know what 20 to 30 grams is.
Basically, it'll be like 1/3 of a cup of grated pecorino.
Perfect.
I don't usually use this grater. It's very
Fine.
fine.
Or-
Oh, here.
No, you show them.
No, you
you
do it.
show it.
You do
It's
it.
your food.
So
You
you
can't
can't
even
even
see
see it. There's like a half-quarter cup in there. Just trust us on it. It's perfect. So we're gonna give that a mix. Wow, this is like happening. All right, that guanciale is pretty much done. Pepper. We're gonna put that in there.
All the pepper.
All the pepper. Do like a teaspoon, half teaspoon, probably a teaspoon because we love our pepper.
Actually, a dish that's actually
Oh
very
my
similar
God,
to
it
this.
smells so
Sorry.
good.
A dish that's very similar to this is actually cacio e pepe, which is pecorino and black pepper. So it's vegetarian, without the egg, without the bacon, but it's still that same creaminess you're getting from the cheese this time. So
All right.
check that out. We actually have a cacio e pepe pizza
So,
on the blog. Phil's pushing me out
sorry,
there.
this is done. We pulled out the garlic. The garlic, we don't want it to burn. We have the flavor. Guanciale's done. So, next,
Do you need your pinchies?
Pinchy, I made you some risotto.
Risotto.
Have you never watched The Simpsons before?
No.
Do you guys remember that episode
I
of
wasn't allowed to watch
with-
The Simpsons.
with Pinchy the lobster? Basically, like Homer feeds him, makes him really big, feeds him risotto, stuff like that. Anyways, we call these Pinchy because see that thing right there? When you let this go, that pinches your hand all the time. So,
Oh, it's hot in here.
guanciale, you can see it's like brown, not too crispy,
I don't think they can
good
see
to
it.
go.
I'll show you guys because he did not. There you go.
Excuse me.
Look at all that fat in there.
Alright, and we're literally gonna go from the pot to the pan. Hear that sizzle? I just got pinched. A little bit more. Pinchy. I made you some risotto. It's like a common thing that Matt says to me. Oh,
Oh,
there we go. Alright, a little bit more pasta here. Now, the reason I'm doing this straight from the pot is because I want some of that water in there. That water is gonna, number one, ensure that the eggs don't scramble.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to add some thickness to the sauce. And I think I got it all. So you can hear it sizzling. We're just gonna mix it up, allow the pasta to soak up some of that beautiful fat from the guanciale. I need a spoon or ladle. Yeah. Okay, so there's a little bit of water in there. You want probably like a 1/4 cup or so. So we're just gonna put that in there. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like sizzling, and as soon as it stops sizzling, you're safe to put the eggs in. So it's like almost there. Actually, I'm gonna turn off the heat. Add a touch more water. That's good. You hear any sizzling? No.
I don't know.
It's good. All right, so simultaneously, we are going to mix and put the eggs in. This is where carbonara goes wrong for many people, because you dump the eggs in when the pan's too hot, and then it scrambles, and it's not good.
This is like the suspense of the dish.
Yeah, it is.
You always stand here wondering what is going to happen.
All right.
If it's going to turn creamy.
So we're gonna pour it
Good
in,
luck.
and we're gonna mix, and we're good. Let's put that in the sink, and just keep mixing. Do not stop. You don't want those eggs to scramble. And guys, we have success. Oh
Whoa.
my goodness.
Whoa, you're flipping good. Whoa.
Whoa! All
Okay,
right,
don't spill it.
it's all about the flip.
Okay, he legit nailed it.
All right, guys. So
Show them the creaminess.
see this? Creamy, not
Tip it.
scrambled.
Tip it.
I don't want to like spill it.
Fine.
Like just
Let me move
perfection. That's gonna be
Move
hot.
this or no?
Yeah, you move that. Let's get rid of this guy, and we'll do some styling here. That's hot.
this. Do you need a fork? or
Oh
those
my
like
god,
tongs?
that's hot.
Guys, that recipe took 10 minutes. This is legit our shortest live ever.
And we're like fully making dinner.
Yeah,
Start
this
to
is like
finish.
a full dinner, guys. It's so creamy. I don't even know if you can see it. I don't even see the creamy.
Now,
Just hope I don't drop it.
if you want like that perfect, I'll let you do it.
No, this is you.
If you want that perfect, where's the
Guys, this is a full-on Phil dish. He cooks it, he styles it, he plates it.
So one thing that I learned, I worked in a little Osteria La Cantina, it was called. It was like a little Italian restaurant in Allora. So when I worked there, I learned how to style pasta to make it look in a bird's nest. So you take your tongs, you get a spoon on the bottom, you try not to spill your bacon everywhere,
Yeah.
and you just spin it on the spoon, like so. I'm not doing it very well, but this is how you do it. And then you just set it on, and then gently let go, and you have the
Small
spoon.
little pile.
It's because of these.
Just kidding.
Because of these things. All right, this one's a little larger. This is gonna be Mystique's meal tonight. Guys, you should be jealous because this is freaking awesome.
Wait till you see all the sauce at the bottom that we're legit just gonna pour on.
Okay,
Or did that bacon?
so we got our nice little bird's nest. Oh, okay, here I can show the sauce a bit. Which one's mine? This one's mine?
Don't make it ugly.
I'll make mine ugly, it's okay. Let's get a little bit of bacon on. Okay. See that? It's like creamy and
And it's
delicious.
just egg.
It's like perfect. And yeah, like literally, this is eggs, bacon, spaghetti. This
5
costs
ingredients.
less than $10 to make.
Less than 10 minutes to make too.
Took like
That's
10
way too
minutes.
long.
Yeah, that's way too long. Try it again because I don't want to waste any of this.
The thing is that this is a simple dish, but it really does require technique, and not crazy technique. You just gotta add the proper amount of water to this.
And I have to be honest with you.
This isn't the most beautiful, but like,
If it doesn't work perfectly and you get the scrambled eggs, it's still gonna taste delicious.
We've had a few scrambled egg carbonara.
It's happening,
and it's perfectly
yeah.
fine.
Everything takes
Obviously,
testing.
the creaminess is much better. But if you follow those tips, and I think the sound one is a
Yeah, the sound one's
because
key.
when you don't hear it sizzling anymore, you know it's 100% done.
So, we're gonna grate some extra pecorino romano. Oh my god, guys.
And for those of you lactose-free people out there, this is totally lactose-free.
That's true. It is lactose free.
Fine.
Or cow lactose free. A little extra pepper. And we're doing the quickest live ever.
But like, you guys came to watch us eat, right?
Yeah, that's why people come, is to watch us eat food and be like, oh, I'm so jealous of you and your stupid food that you're eating. Just joking. Alright, let's go in for a bite.
Make sure you get bacon in there. Mmm.
Okay.
Guys, it's super creamy and so rich. And it's all coming from the bacon, the richness. It's so simple. It's such a good dish.
Yeah. Saltiness from the guanciale and the cheese. A little bit of spice from the pepper, but not too much. Pasta's cooked perfectly. Captain Cammy, can't slow down.
You can't slow down when you're eating this.
Sorry, not possible. This will be on in about 30 seconds. I'm
Guys,
going for another bite.
Does anybody want to join us for dinner for our next live?
Oh, that's actually a fun idea, but sort of scary.
Not scary. You guys will be right at the chef's table. So you get to come on and eat with us. Are we done?
Maybe not scary for you, scary for me.
Scary for Phil. Guys, if there's any cooking live after 5 recipes you want us to do, tell us. We're always looking for new ideas. You can find this recipe on the blog. Yes, please come over next 2 Thursdays.
Alright, let's see if there's any questions. Alright, everyone wants to come over. Everyone wants us to drink wine. I think this is your wine. Alright. Cheers, Saints Alive. Cheers to all of you. Thanks for joining us. A little quicker than usual, but that's okay.
Whatever. Guys, recipes on the blog. So simple.
And now you officially know how quick it is to make carbonara. There's no excuse not to make it.
Oh,
Anya
honestly.
asks for candy apples next. Oh my god. Maybe.
Should we make candy apples next, Anya?
I don't know. Maybe.
You'll have to come over and be our guest.
Alright guys.
Oh.
Thanks again for joining us. We're going to finish this off, plus finish this bottle of wine. Ciao.
Bye.